Well, good afternoon, everyone. As we prepare the medical missionary workshop for the month of July, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us on Facebook live stream and also on the YouTube live stream. This month's topic will be about water and the importance and health benefits of water. So, as always, before we begin, we're going to have a word of prayer. Father in heaven, we thank you, Lord, for this blessing us with life today. And Lord, as we go over the importance of water, we just pray and ask that those that are listening and those who will listen at a later time, that the simple addition of having enough water, taking the baths and the showers and different things of that nature, that can do so much in healing the body, for the body, with very little cost, if any at all. Lord, we just praying and asking for conviction of hearts, that those that may be having issues with their health, and it could be something as simple as water. So Lord, we pray and ask for your blessings to be placed upon all those that are listening right now, and those that that we pray for those that make choices. If they're not consuming enough water, not understanding the health benefits of water, externally and internally, we just pray and ask that they make the changes that is needed. We pray this all in your Son Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. So I'd like to just welcome everyone here with us this Sunday afternoon, this hot Sunday afternoon. Here, we're here at Believers of Truth, 37 Adventist Church, 1013 Callahan Street in Archdale, North Carolina. Now, I would like to always, as usual, start off with our scripture, 3 John 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. And we're talking, the topic is water. So I want to give an example in the Bible where water actually healed a king of his leprosy. Coming from 2 Kings chapter 5. And this king is, Naaman the captain of the host of the king of Syria. He was the captain of the host of the king of Syria. Naaman was the captain of the host. So in 2 Kings 5, Naaman, he had leprosy, and a young maid went to him and said, "Oh, there's a man, a prophet, that may be able to help you." And I'm going to pick up this on verse 10 of 2 Kings 5. And Elijah sent a messenger unto him, saying, "Go and wash in Jordan 7 times, and thy flesh shall come again to thee, and thou shalt be clean." But Naaman was wroth, and went away, and said, "Behold, I thought he would surely come out to me, and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God, and strike his hand over the place, and recover the leper. Are not Abana, Pharpar, rivers of Damascus better than all the waters of Israel? May I not wash in them and be clean?" So he turned and went away in a rage. And the servants came near and spake unto him and said, "My father, if the prophet had bid thee do some great thing, wouldst thou not have done it? How much rather than when he saith to thee, Wash and be clean?" Then went he down and dipped himself 7 times in Jordan, according to the saying of the man of God. And his flesh came again like unto the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. And he returned to the man of God, and he and all his company, and came and stood before him. And he said, "Behold, now I know that there is no God in all the earth but in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, take a blessing of thy servant." So this is a biblical story that actually happened. And what was used here by God was water. Dipping in water 7 times healed him of his leprosy. That's just one example of what water can do and the benefits of it. Before we get in, I want to read this disclaimer. The information provided in this workshop is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. And always, as we read from the book Ministry of Healing, page 127. The only hope of better things is in the education of the people and right principles. That physicians teach the people that restorative power is not in drugs, but in nature. Disease is an effort of nature to free the system from conditions that result from a violation of the laws of health. In case of sickness, the cause should be ascertained, unhealthful conditions should be changed, wrong habits corrected. The nature is to be assisted in her effort to expel impurities and to reestablish right conditions in the system. That's Ministry of Healing, page 127. Like I've always said, anyone would like to get a copy of that wonderful book, just reach out to me. And I'm going to give my information now. If anyone needs more information, has any questions, you can ask your questions on the YouTube live stream and also on the Facebook Live. And I'll try to answer them when my partner here gets up and she does her portion of this presentation. My wife, my partner in crime, my wife, gets up and she does her portion of it. Now, in saying that, I want to begin in what are the signs of dehydration? What are the signs of dehydration? And there are many signs of dehydration, but most people do not even recognize or realize it. And you have minor dehydration. You have 3 levels of dehydration. And mild, and you have, in between, you have chronic, major dehydration. So, just in this little while this afternoon, we're going to go over some of the signs of dehydration. First of all, what is dehydration? It says that is your body loses more fluids than you take in. You're likely to see signs of dehydration, and if left untreated, severe dehydration symptoms. Below, we explore what symptoms fall into the different categories of dehydration when you can try and rehydrate yourself and when you must seek medical advice. This is very vital because how long can we last without water? Depending on our environment, if we're in a hotter environment, if we're in the desert or something, we're not going to last no time at all. And especially if we're not eating at the same time. So we need water. But the importance of that, even if we're getting water, are we getting enough water? And this is what we're going to talk about here. The signs of mild to moderate chronic dehydration. Dehydration can be seen on the spectrum with mild, moderate, and severe dehydration being term used to describe how dehydrated a person can be. Meanwhile, chronic and acute refer to how quickly the dehydration symptoms occur. The chances are most people experience chronic, ongoing, mild to moderate dehydration regularly. So that means most of us, 75 to 80% of those walking around today are at least have mild dehydration. When the usual amount of water in your body decreases, it disrupts the harmony of your minerals. For example, mineral salts as electrolytes and sugar like glucose. Electrolytes are examples of solutes, substances that usually dissolve in your blood that help transport nutrients into your cells. Remove waste products out of them and control your acidity and pH levels. Examples include sodium, potassium, chloride, magnesium, calcium, phosphate, and bicarbonates. It's easy to see why an imbalance of minerals can prevent your body from working optimally, contributing to some of the dehydration symptoms described below. Early warning signs of mild to moderate chronic dehydration include feelings of thirst, having a dry mouth, lips, or tongue. Dizzy or lightheaded sensations, especially when you stand up after sitting or lying down. If this comes and goes after a few seconds, it can be considered mild to moderate dehydration. Notably, there could be other reasons for these sensations outside dehydration. Another one is feeling tired. So a lot of people have what they call, chronic fatigue syndrome. Do you know one of the problems that you may have that is because you're dehydrated? So feeling tired. And also, another one, urinating less regularly than what's normal for you. When you're dehydrated, the amount of blood circulating around your body, your blood volume, decreases. Reduced blood flow around your body into your kidneys causes them to keep as much fluid as possible, resulting in your urinating less often. So that means you're putting your kidneys have to do more work. Your body in general has to do more work when you're dehydrated. Now, in the event that you have untreated diabetes, you may have lots of sugar in your blood, forcing your kidneys to work doubly hard to filter and absorb the excess. When your kidneys can't keep pace, you feel the urge to urinate more to remove the extra sugar, extracting fluids from your tissues as you do so. Now, this isn't the sugar that we're just thinking about, plain sugar, table sugar, what have you. This is the sugar that's built up in your blood because diabetes, the insulin cannot get into your cells properly. So you build up, that's why they call it sugar diabetes. Now, this can make you dehydrated. If you're feeling thirsty despite drinking a lot of water or urinating more than what is usual for you, contact your physician. If you're already diagnosed with diabetes and experiencing excessive urination and thirst, seek urgent medical attention. A lot of those that deal with diabetes, and it's an epidemic right now, when they go to bed at night, they have to get up multiple times through the night. They don't even have to drink the water before they go to bed. It's just that, just what it just says here, that's your body forcing the sugar that's in your blood, forcing your kidneys to work doubly hard to filter and absorb the excess. When your kidneys can't keep pace, you feel the urge to urinate more to remove the extra sugar. So you're going to get up multiple times through the night. 4, 5, 6 times in the night. And I don't know if I know people deal with that they need to get checked if they haven't. If they haven't got any kind of diagnosis, that's not normal at all. Question?
Yes, I experienced that, having to get up several times to go to the bathroom. I've had my blood work, so I don't have diabetes, but I could have been setting myself up to get diabetes, and what it was my lack of drinking my water like I know to do it regularly, using that as an excuse, being too busy to drink water and not forgetting to drink water. But when I do drink my water, I don't experience that side effect of having to get up to go to the bathroom. I've noticed that. So I've lived that. If you drink your water, it can help you with the onset, even coming of having to be diabetes, the onset of diabetes.
Yes, it does. Now, another one is constipation. That is a very noticeable one, and probably one of the ones quickest to come across, because constipation is simply when your body lacks water, it can make your stools harder and therefore more difficult to pass. So you may ask yourself, why am I straining? Why have to sit here so long? Dehydration. There is not enough water in your system. Your water helps move the bowels along to get those impurities out. Now, that's constipation. Another one is muscle weakness. Dehydration can result in diminished strength and stamina. And also, you've lost your appetite. In a study of people aged 65 plus receiving home health care, dehydration was associated with a decreased appetite. Although the research noted that the causal relationship between dehydration, depression, appetite, and physical performance need to be further investigated. However, appetite loss been cited as a possible sign of mild dehydration in all adults. Now, dehydrated skin. There's a difference between dehydrated skin and dry skin. Okay, dehydrated skin. This can happen when there's not enough water in your skin, and it can occur in anyone, no matter if they have oily, dry, or combination skin type. This is different from dry skin, which is a skin type and where the complexion lacks oils and looks more flaky and dry as a result. With dehydrated skin, you may spot itchiness, dullness, increased sensitivity to wrinkles and fine lines. Dry mucous membranes, for example, in your nose, and or darker circles beneath your eyes. If your skin becomes drier over time rather than always being dry, it could be a sign of dehydration. And this is a big one. Headaches, as well as provoking headaches. Dehydration can also worsen underlying medical conditions such as cerebrospinal fluid hypotension. In other words, CSF. Cerebrospinal fluid hypotension. Now, when you think about the headaches, you have many different types of headaches. You have tension headaches, you have nervous headaches, you have dehydration headaches, you have migraine headaches. It could be simply dehydration. One of the first places you go when you get a headache is ask yourself, have I drunk enough water? And drink some more water. It may relieve your headache. It's that simple. Water can relieve headaches. Now, it could be other underlying problems also, but your first line of defense is to make sure you're drinking enough water. Now, another one is an exaggerated response to pain. The participants in a small study of healthy men experienced more pain when their upper or lower arms or legs were immersed in cold water, a cold pressure test, when they were dehydrated compared to when they had good hydration. Meanwhile, the dehydrated participants of another small study had the pain networks in their brain activated more and a reduced pain threshold when they encountered the cold pressure test compared to when they were rehydrated. Now, if you have a highly calibrated biometric weighing scale with a body water measurement feature, you may notice your body weight drop slightly each day. This could be a sign of dehydration. And you have a lot of weight scales you can get like that. It measures your water content too. Now, if you're experiencing any of the above, drink ample amounts of fluids such as water or herbal, non-caffeinated teas. Oral rehydration solutions and salts available from pharmacies can often aid with moderate dehydrations as they help optimize the amount of fluid your body can take in. Now, when we have to replenish after you're out cutting grass or working outside and it's real hot, you notice when you're sweating so much, you can taste salt. The salt is coming, as you're sweating, the salt is coming out, right? So sodium is one of the parts that, you're talking about the minerals that need to be replenished as you lose the minerals. So that's why it's always good after you have a real time out there in the heat, working, and you're sweating like that, it's best to take a little pinch of salt, Himalayan or Celtic salt preferably, but a pinch of salt and then drink your water. A pinch of salt and then drink your water. That'll get your minerals back into it. Okay? Now, who's most at risk of dehydration? Babies and toddlers, as due to their low body weight, they're sensitive to even tiny amounts of water loss. So when you have young children, you have babies, you have toddlers that may get sick and be throwing up and different things, it is very vital that you seek their doctors, their what you call pediatricians, because you do not want young people, babies or toddlers, to get dehydrated. You do not want that at all. Now, older people, because they can be less aware that they're developing dehydration and that they should keep drinking. So it's not only older people, but people just forget to drink the water. They don't have time to drink the water, whatever it may be. They just don't think to drink water because they themselves don't feel like they're dehydrated, but they really are. Now, people living with long-term health conditions, for instance, diabetes or alcoholism, these are those that are most at risk of dehydration. Potentially athletes who can, through exercise for long periods, sweat out significant amounts of body fluid. Those who have been exposed to hot temperatures for a considerable amount of time, especially without access to fluids. Individuals who have recently been vomiting had diarrhea or sunstroke. Now, in cases where you or someone you know fits into the above at-risk categories and are experiencing signs of dehydration, they must access medical help quicker. Now, dehydration symptoms in babies and children include being less active than usual, feeling drowsy, having a dry mouth, fast breathing, hands and feet that appear cold and blotchy, crying without tears, having a sunken and soft area on top of the baby's head, having sunken eyes. The fragile skin beneath the eyes may appear dark, sunken, hollow, or thin, or may have a dark shadow over their lower eyelid or dark circles under the eyes. This could accumulate in their face, looking tired overall, producing fewer wet nappies or nappies that are lighter than normal. In older children, this may appear as them peeing less often. These could all be signs of worsening and severe dehydration in your child. If these signs are present, especially in the context of other illness, such as vomiting, fever, or diarrhea, please seek urgent medical advice. Urgent medical advice. Now, what are the signs of severe acute dehydration? In both adults and children can include experience extreme tiredness, more than usual, and total lack of energy. Interestingly, in a review that assessed the predictors of dehydration in the elderly, fatigue was one of only 2 factors that predicted a dehydration diagnosis. There can be other causes of exhaustion, but if you think you're dehydrated due to other signs, or if you have another illness, such as vomiting, diarrhea, or heat stroke, it could be a severe dehydration symptom. And also another one, feeling extremely thirsty, and having sunken eyes. Now, this is a big one. This is one very good test to know if you're dehydrated. Your pee is dark yellow and smells strong. The concentration of particles like chemicals in your body fluids like your urine is higher when you're dehydrated. This increases the likelihood of these chemicals generating a strong smell. When the ratio of water to chemicals in urine is higher, you're well hydrated, the water naturally dilutes the smell and chemicals. So, one of the simplest ways to know if you're dehydrated, if you go into the bathroom and your urine is yellow, amber color, that means your kidneys are working too hard, you're dehydrated. Your kidneys are working too hard. Do you know, I don't know if this is in there, but when you have acute chronic dehydration, sometimes by the time you go to the doctor, your kidneys are so damaged, you have to be put on dialysis. This is acute chronic dehydration that you've been, putting it off. You're not drinking your water or anything. So that's what happens. That's what happens now. So you got to be very careful. You got to be very mindful of water you drink. And another sign is, even if your urine looks hydrated, pale, it isn't a sign you can use on its own to determine your hydration status, as your cells might be dehydrated. Alternatively, you might be losing water due to high solute concentration in your blood, for example, if you have diabetes. Therefore, only use this as a sign of optimal hydration if you're not experiencing any of the other signs outlined here. Now, another one is you've not urinated for 8 hours or more. And also having a faster heart rate. This severe dehydration symptom can depend on context. For example, if you recently had diarrhea, this can be more indicative of dehydration. When your blood volume decreases, your heart beats more rapidly to compensate, prompting your heart rate and blood pressure to rise. Research on whether dehydration causes hypertension, high blood pressure, is limited. However, it's clear the hormone vasopressin, which is released when your blood volume is low or you have too many dissolved particles in your blood, can trigger the narrowing of your blood vessels, resulting in a blood pressure rise. So just being dehydrated could raise your blood pressure because it thickens the blood volume, and your heart is going to have to beat that much more. It has to do that much more work. And also another one is breathing rapidly. As your heart rate increases, so too does your breathing rate. Now, also a low capillary refill. Making sure you're not wearing any finger rings or nail polish, pressing down on your nail bed until it turns white should see the color return in 3 seconds or less when you stop pressing. If color takes long to return, it may indicate you're dehydrated. This is because the capillary refill test examines the amount of blood flowing through your smallest blood vessels, capillary, and as we mentioned above, dehydration can reduce the amount of blood circulating around your body. Also, another one, dizzy or lightheaded sensations. Another one is feeling confused or delirious. Another one is displaying a low level of consciousness. Another one is having fits. Seizures. A seizure is where a person becomes stiff, loses consciousness, and their arms and legs start to twitch. Seizures are emergencies that need to be dealt with urgently. You can find out what to do if someone has a seizure, including putting them in the recovery position and when to call an ambulance here. And another one is a high core body temperature. Being hydrated can affect your body's ability to regulate temperature. When your body temperature rises, you usually sweat to cool down. Yet, when you're dehydrated, you sweat less, meaning less heat loss and diminished ability to cool your body down. It's worth noting that above dehydration symptoms and signs don't necessarily accurately diagnose you with dehydration, especially in older adults. This is because context is important in making a diagnosis. The above is also not an exhaustive list of dehydration symptoms, so there are more. Now, if you suspect you or someone you know, including an elderly person, is dehydrated, contact your general practitioner who will be able to carry out more accurate tests. So signs, it all talks signs of mild to moderate chronic dehydration. Go over this once again quickly. Thirst, dry mouth, lips or tongue, dizzy or lightheaded sensation, urinating less, regularly than normal, reduced appetite, dehydrated skin, headaches, and exaggerated pain response, constipation, muscle weakness, feeling tired. Acute, extreme tiredness, extreme thirst, sunken eyes, dark yellow, strong smelling pee, not urinating in 8 or more hours, breathing rapidly, a slow capillary refill, dizzy or lightheaded sensations, confusion or delirium, a low level of consciousness, a faster heart rate, fits or seizures, high core temperature. Signs of dehydration in children and babies: less active than usual, drowsiness, dry mouth, fast breathing, cold and blotchy hands and feet, crying without tears, a sunken or soft area on top of a baby's head, sunken eyes, fewer wet nappies or lighter than normal. So those are some of there are more signs of dehydration. Go ahead, you have a question?
Oh, I just have a comment. I thank the Lord that you're talking about so much about dehydration, because as we all can tell, the summers are hotter than normal now. There's something going on in the atmosphere to where the heat is more intense. Most of the country, I'm thinking, if I might not be correct, is experiencing heat that's just unbearable. You can't, the kids can't. It used to be you can go outside in the heat and play, but with this heat now, you can't even do that. You don't want to do anything outside. So it's very important to understand and to know the symptoms of being dehydrated and what we need to do, especially for the young and the old. So I'm thankful to learn these things. It's a timely subject.
Now we're going to go over some of the benefits of getting the proper hydration, drinking the proper amount of water. And it's all to an individual physical body makeup. It's just not one thing for everybody. Now, I want to say this before I go over some of these benefits. A good rule, there's a couple of good rules to use. 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water. Whatever your body weight is, half that in ounces of water you drink. But all this is variable on your diet and other things, because if you eat more foods, if you eat a whole plant-based diet, you're going to eat more foods with more water in them. Versus a person, you can have 2 people 200 pounds. One can have that, what we call the SAD diet, which is, and they consume a lot of meat and cheese and different things, but both weigh 200 pounds. They're gonna need more water, because what they're consuming doesn't have hardly any water content. But then on the other hand, a person who's 200 pounds that has a whole plant-based diet, they're consuming your vegetables, your fruits, your spinach, your kale. All these things have more water content. Celery. All these things have more water content, so you're not going to need as much water. So a lot of it depends on your diet that you have also. And also the signs of dehydration. Just follow those also. But those 2 good measurements, 8 ounces, 8 glasses, or whatever your body weight is, half that in ounces. Now, as soon as you go outside, you cut the grass, and you're out there in the garden or what have you, you start sweating more, you're gonna need to increase that. Okay? That's just an average, but you're gonna need to increase that. And remember, it's variable on a person's diet, what they're doing, if they're outside, if they're inside. But we lose somewhere to 2 to 3 liters of water a day just through breathing, bowel movements, urinating, and we should be urinating on the average probably 6 to 8 times a day. Normally. Good.
Also, if we're consuming coffee, that takes out more water.
That'll dehydrate.
Because we think we drinking those sodas, coffees, and other liquids that we may be getting hydrated, but it's actually like a diuretic, and it's pulling even more water when we're drinking coffees and teas and certain teas and
those sodas.
Soda.
Caffeinated sodas and different things.
And alcohol beverages and things like that. It's a diuretic, so it's even if you're not drinking water and you're drinking those things, you're not getting hydrated from drinking those things. You're depleting your body of more water.
Now I want to just talk a little bit about how much water we should be drinking. One rule is if you have a problem drinking your water, you can buy these big jugs now that you can fill up, a gallon jug you can fill up during the day, and you just take care of that with you throughout the day on your job, or if you're retired throughout the day. Now, in the morning, well, you're going to talk about the lemon water and stuff, right?
You can go ahead.
Well, in the morning, it's always recommended that you start your morning out, of course, with prayer and study. And as you're studying, you get your 32-ounce glass of water, you fill it up, and you half a lemon, squeeze it, fresh squeezed lemon in the water, and that lemon water will hydrate you. And as you're studying or as you go through the morning and what you're doing, you drink on that 32-ounce glass of water. And that'll be 32 ounces right there that you have. And as you go through the day, you take you another, 32 or what have you, depends on what you're doing throughout the day. You want to consume another one throughout the day, but not as quickly as you consume, may take in the first one. Now, I'll say this. Water should be room temperature or warm. Warm room temperature. Cold water causes problems when you drink it, when you consume it. I looked at some studies on that, and water shouldn't be hot. It shouldn't be cold. Cold water, it decreases the
digestive.
That's right, the digestive juices, and also cold water. Once you drink it, your body has to warm it.
Yeah, the blood has to go to the stomach.
That's right. And also, when you drink warm or room temperature water, it opens your bowels more. So, if you feel constipated, this is a good one. You take this 32 ounces of water right here. If you're constipated, you want it to be warm, more on the warm side. Room temperature warm. You take that 32 ounces of water and you guzzle it down. And if you're not severely constipated, that will clean you out. It'll help clean you out. If you take it down real quick, if you
water in them.
Huh?
Water in them.
Yeah, it's like doing a mouth water. It's like doing a mouth enema. You drink this, take this warm 32 ounces of water, 32 ounces of water, and drink it down real quick. And that'll help you go to the bathroom. Get you started for the day. That's what it'll do. So just starting out that in the morning, just always be conscious and mindful. I need to be drinking more water. I need to be drinking more water. Okay? Now, what else was it about? We need to get in the habit of drinking the water. We need to get in the habit of it because it's so vital for our bodies. So many things happen to us when we're dehydrated, as we went over just a few of them just now. Now I want to go over the benefits of being hydrated. Physiological benefits: regulates body temperature, lubricates and cushions joints, carries nutrients and oxygen to cells. Water is the medium for transporting essential substances throughout the body. Also aids in digestion and prevents constipation. Water helps move food through the digestive tract and prevents stool from becoming hard and dry. When your food is not moving through your digestive tract, you know what can end up happening? The C word. Because all that food is just impacted in your colon, in your stomach area. It's not passing out fast enough. It's just fermenting inside of you. So that's why you need to drink that water. Now, it also flushes out waste products. Water helps the kidneys and liver remove toxins and waste from the body through urine and sweat. Maintains healthy skin. Adequate hydration keeps skin moisturized, preventing dryness and promoting a healthy appearance. Supports muscle function. Water is crucial for muscle contraction and performance. Also protects organs and tissues. Water acts as a cushion for vital organs and tissues. Cognitive and mental benefits. Improves brain function. Water is essential for optimal brain function, including concentration, memory, and cognitive performance. Also, it improves mood. Dehydration can lead to mood changes, and adequate hydration can help stabilize your mood. There's a lot of mental health issues we're having today. And can you even believe something simple as being hydrated can help alleviate that? I didn't say alleviate it, it can help alleviate that. That's incredible. Water.
You were talking about how if we don't drink enough water, that we get impacted, and the fermentation and the toxins go into the bloodstream, and you can get the C word. Well, they're saying now that a lot of young people are getting the C word in their in
Younger.
Yeah, younger people. They're having a lot of cancers in the colon. So nowadays we're not drinking enough water. We're drinking everything else, especially young people. Soda, juice, soda,
Alcohol,
juice, alcohol. And you're not drinking enough water, and you're seeing now, especially with the food the way it is, that younger people are getting and dying from colon cancer.
Yes, that's true. That's true. From the lack of water.
Lack of water.
Now, and also disease prevention helps prevent kidney stones. Staying hydrated helps prevent the buildup of minerals and salts in the kidneys that can form stones. May reduce the risk of certain cancers. Some studies suggest that adequate water intake may lower the risk of some cancers. May help prevent urinary tract infections. Those that are susceptible to urinary tract infections, drink your water. It says water helps flush bacteria from the bladder, reducing the risk of UTIs. May help manage weight. It does help manage weight. Drinking water can help with weight loss by promoting feelings of fullness and boosting metabolism. So here's a recommendation. Before you eat, 30 to 45 minutes before you eat, drink your glass of water. And then when you eat, sit down and eat, you'll feel fuller quicker, and you'll move away from the table. That's what'll help with the weight loss. You won't consume as much food because the water will help fill you. Before you eat, it'll help fill you up already. Now, after you eat, I'm going to have to say this. I don't know if you're going to talk about the eating, drinking water. Okay. So, after you eat a meal, don't consume any water. Okay, first of all, 30 to 45 minutes before a meal, drink your 8-ounce glass of water. Then you eat. During the course of your meal, do not drink anything. This is a hard saying for most people. It was a hard saying for me. But the reason why you don't want to drink anything while you're eating is because when you're drinking and eating, it dilutes your digestive enzymes and your food is not broken down properly. You dilute your digestive enzymes, which breaks down your food when you're drinking water along with your meal. That is the reason why you don't want to do that.
And does that also cause constipation?
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. It can upset your stomach.
Acid reflux?
It can end up causing acid reflux. And that's why whenever we're consuming anything, that starts the digestive process in our systems. And your stomach acid is coming to because it's knowing it's about to get some food down there. Now, when you drink the water with that food, you're diluting your stomach acid, and your food will not be able to break it down properly. That's why you have food that just sits, or it comes out. You see it come out the other side almost whole. It hasn't been broken down because your stomach acid has been diluted by you drinking water. I know it's a hard thing for a lot of people. Just try it. Okay? Now, after your meal, you want to wait 1 to 2 hours after your meal to start drinking your water, sipping on your water. And I just wanted to share that and talk about weight management. Now, you had a...
No, I just thought about, the society encourages drinking with eating, especially when you're eating out. They encourage you to buy a drink, and most of the people, they drink while they eat, and most of America is constipated. And it's how we are consuming it, and as far as our fluids in our bodies and what we're consuming. But you just got to look at how society is now. And that leads to diseases like cancer because that food is sitting in your colon.
Y'all saw me just drink that water. It tastes so good. Tastes so good. Gotta have it. It's the greatest. It's the greatest elixir that we have is water, pure water. Just tastes good. Tastes good to me. You know, sometimes people got to put the little water enhancers in there. That's nothing but food coloring. You don't want to do that neither. Just get used in the habit of drinking water. Now, other benefits, it says improves physical performance. Hydration is essential for optimal physical performance, especially during exercise. Well, we don't advocate drinking at all. So, water.
Drinking on what? When you exercise?
Any kind of alcohol. Because
oh, you're talking about alcohol.
Alcohol. I'm talking about drinking actual alcohol consumption. Some people, you know how some people they'll drink a lot of alcohol and they say they'll drink a lot of water behind it and it helps them flush the alcohol out the system. You know, we don't need to be drinking alcohol, so we don't even worry about that one. Alcohol is not good for anybody. Now, it reduces the risk of headaches. Dehydration is a common cause of headaches, and drinking enough water can help prevent them. And improves sleep quality. Adequate hydration can help regulate sleep patterns and improve sleep quality. And it supports overall health and well-being. Water is fundamental to virtually every bodily function, and staying hydrated is crucial for overall health. Now, our bodies are made up of anywhere from 60 to 70% water. And all what I studied, that was the range between 55 to 70% of water. Go ahead.
I ran across some studies that said even higher.
Yeah, and with certain parts of the body, like the brain and certain tissues.
Yeah, and I just ran across some study that said 73 to 80%, and then I ran across a study that said 85%.
Yeah. Well, most of the ones I went to.
But either way,
most of our bodies are made up of
water.
So we need and we lose water just going through daily process, breathing, using the bathroom, urinating, bowel movements, exercising, sweat. We're losing water, so we have to replenish it. You know, so that's some of the benefits of drinking the water, staying hydrated, and it does a host of things. But kidney function. When you see darkened urine, get checked. If you think you're drinking enough water, and you say, I'm drinking enough water, why is my urine like that? Go to the doctor. Get checked. Because your kidneys proper hydration prevents kidney damage. And also, you want to keep your body fluids in balance at all times. And the body, it flushes body waste. So those are some of the things that those were the benefits of drinking water. And now we just looked over. Before we looked at the issues with dehydration, some of the symptoms. So now we'll have our second part here with a demonstration or two about the water. Coming from my wife, Debbie McCoy.
Good evening, everyone. All right, so I'm going to do, I've got here 3 demonstrations about water and the importance. And this is dealing mostly with the physical things that we can do with water. We're going to talk about baths and showers and hydrotherapy, which is water therapy, and using water for healing and water treatments. The first demonstration I want to do, which is very simple, and it's kind of what I would call hands-on and a way to understand how important water is and what happens when we don't use water. Okay, here I have 2 sponges. I have the blue, I have yellow. So I'm going to take this blue sponge and put it in water. And what is happening here? this sponge is doing what? It's soaking up water, just like what our body does. When we drink water, it's important that we drink it so that it can enter into our cells, enter into our digestive systems. I can't say the word. Our digestive systems. That sponge is like an example of the pores on our body. The pores on our body are like 1,000,000 mouths. And when we use water and drink water, those pores, when we take baths or showers, and that's something I'm going to go over, those pores are taking in water, which our cells need, which our skin needs, our hair needs. We need water for all those things. So our body is made up like this sponge as far as in taking water. So with this sponge, once we don't intake the water, what happens? What happens to the sponge when the water is out of it and it just sits for a few hours? What happens to that sponge? It dries out. And this is an example of what happens to us if we do not hydrate our body, if we do not use that powerful resource that God has given us that's so important to sustain life for not just us humans, but also for plants and for animals. We'll dry out. If the body dries out, we begin to feel symptoms that are not good for us. Our hair, if it's not moisturized, it dries off, it's going to break. Our skin, if it's not hydrated and it dries out, it's going to be ashy, it's going to flake, it's going to itch. The organs and the digestive system, all those things, water is so important. So if we don't intake water, we'll dry out, just like this sponge, this rough, hard sponge that has no water. We'll dry out, and it'll cause a lot of health problems. So that's the first demonstration, the sponge, that gives us an idea of what happens when we don't intake water. And I just want to say a little bit about what God has done for us in regards to water. God has given us an abundance of water. Most of the earth is made up of water. Most of our body is made up of water, our brains, our tissues. And he has given us an abundance freely and in nature for not just only humans, but for plants and animals and anything that's living. When you think about it, if a person can go longer without wait a minute, how do I want to say this? A person cannot go long without water. They can go longer without food. Humans and animals can go longer without food than water. That's how important it is. An animal will know that it needs water and it will try to find a water resource. But what I'm trying to say is that we can go without food longer than we can go without water. And water is given to us by God in abundance. The only thing in nature that God has given us more of abundance, and that would be what? Air. So water, God, he gave us lots of water, and he gave us that for a reason. And our bodies are made of 3/4 of water, and our organs are made up of 70% of water. So it's very important that we have water. So what we're going to talk about next is hydrotherapy. Again, hydrotherapy is water therapy, using water for healing, and also it's called water treatments. And we're going to talk about how it works. So hydrotherapy, how it works is that hot water, when you use water for hydrotherapy, you will use hot water, warm water, and cold water for hydrotherapy. When you use hot water, what it does is it dilates our blood vessels and opens up, pulls impurities, from the body, and that goes into the bloodstream. It keeps the blood from being congested, and it helps the body to circulate regularly and not to pool. Because when the body pools in any parts of our bodies and our organs, it brings upon diseases. So when we use hydrotherapy, the water will cause your blood vessels to dilate. And we want it to dilate to pull the impurities from the body into the blood. And then in contrast to the hot water, we use cold water. The cold water helps to push out the impurities from the body. And we have organs that filter out, to help filter out the impurities. And that would be our liver, our kidneys, and our lungs. So once we use hydrotherapy, what it's going to do to the blood vessels, the hot water will open it up and pull the impurities, and then the cold water will squeeze it out through the bloodstream, and then those organs, those important organs that filter out the impurities, like the liver, the lungs, and the kidneys, will flush it out. So that's what hydrotherapy does. It's a wonderful way to cleanse the body and to heal the body. And it keeps the blood from pooling, because when we have blood that pools in certain parts of the body, it can cause disease, and it can cause a whole lot of symptoms that we don't want. Now, one simple thing that we do every day, and we should do every day, that's considered hydrotherapy, which is water treatment, is taking a bath or taking a shower. So now, there are different benefits and different types of baths we can take. And from my own experience, I incorporate bathing a lot in my own experience. And I can tell from in my experience the benefits of it. It's a wonderful thing. The world we live in now, we do more showering than bathing.
It's faster.
And yeah, because it's faster. And I think I was telling my son just the other day, he was saying, last night, we were having a conversation, and he was saying that his back was hurting. And I suggested to him to take a bath with some Epsom salt, to take a bath. And what he said to me was, men don't take baths. And I said, men with back pain need to take baths. So I am very much an advocate of taking a bath. It does so many benefits for me, and that is one way that we can treat ourselves with hydrotherapy to help cleanse the body and help heal the body. So I want to talk a little bit about the baths, the different baths you can take, okay? One bath is a hot bath. And what the hot bath does is it brings the body temperature up, and it causes you to sweat. Taking hot baths are good to relieve muscular pain and pain in itself. Taking hot baths, it helps to induce fevers, helps you to sweat. One suggestion though, when you take a hot bath, first of all, you have to consult with the doctor if you're dealing with diabetes or high blood pressure. Temperature. Because of the temperature, high temperature. So I would suggest it. I would suggest taking hot baths if you're dealing with diabetes and high blood pressure without talking to your doctor first. And we're going to talk about how to take the temperature. But hot baths, I will say that hot baths should be taken, the temperature should be between 100 to 106 degrees from my study, my research. But again, if you're dealing with those two diseases, those two chronic diseases, be cautious and consult with your doctor. But it does help with muscle pain and pains, and to induce fevers, and it helps with congestion and fatigue, a hot bath. And another bath I'm going to talk about here, which is my favorite, which is the one I use a lot, Oh, I want to say, go back to the hot baths. When you take a hot bath, the time frame should be anywhere from 2 to 30 minutes. Also, one thing to help regulate your temperature so you won't be so hot if it's too hot. And one other thing, you know your body. The degrees that I gave you, the temperature that I gave you may be too hot for you. So just take it down, you know, to where you can tolerate it, what you can stand. And one thing you can do while taking that hot bath between those 2 to 30 minutes is put a cool rag across your forehead and sip on some cool water. That will help you to be able to not overheat, because you don't want to overheat. Okay? And now we're going to talk about a lukewarm bath, which is my favorite, which I do quite often. And the temperature for that is 94 to 74 degrees on the temperature for a lukewarm bath. And what a lukewarm bath does is a whole lot. It's very beneficial. A lukewarm bath is very relaxing and calming. Calms you down, helps you to relax. A lukewarm bath is good to help you sleep, to help you go to sleep. A lukewarm bath helps with nervousness, nervous tension, anxiety, irritability, and a lukewarm bath can help with chronic diarrhea. Now, I just learned something also, that a lukewarm bath, a comfortable bath. You know, most of us if we take a bath, we take a lukewarm, comfortable bath, something that we can relax in, that makes us just calm down and relax. That's considered lukewarm. It's not going to take your temperature up and anything like that, but it's just going to be relaxing. But one thing that I did learn, that taking a lukewarm bath helps with insanity. And when we say the word insanity, we're dealing with what? Mental health. That's what we're dealing with, mental health. But a lukewarm bath helps a lot with a person that's dealing with mental health. It calms them, it relaxes them. And a lot of times when we're dealing with mental health, we, like my husband said earlier, we're probably dehydrated. And when you're dehydrated and the blood is not circulating, it can cause blood to pool in different areas of the body. It can cause blood to pool in the brain and clog in the brain. So when that happens, that can affect how we think, our mood, make us irritable, put the wrong thoughts in our minds. And so taking a bath can help with those things. Taking a lukewarm bath to relax you, to help the blood to begin to circulate and move around evenly in the body. And so taking a lukewarm bath can affect your mental health. Now, I want to ask this question to mothers especially with babies. When we have our little infant babies, and not even infants, even toddlers, maybe even elementary age children, but I'm specifically talking about babies, fussy babies. What is the one thing that we do that adds to help that baby to calm down if we have a fussy baby? My husband mentioned changing the diaper. We know that. But, and that's another way to keep a baby from being fussy and make sure they're not dehydrated. But one other thing that we do as mothers, and with our school-age children also, is we'll give them a bath. I know when my children were little, and they're fussy, and you want them to go to sleep, you make sure they're changed, you make sure that they're eaten, you give them that bottle, and you give them a bath to help them to relax. Babies, infant babies, and I miss doing that. My children are older, but one thing that our mothers did regularly is give that baby a bath to get them to relax and to go to sleep. Same thing with adults, same thing with us. Same thing with myself. When I take that lukewarm bath, it relaxes me. I even fall asleep in the tub. My husband said that's dangerous, and it is dangerous. But I have done it numerous times to relax myself. If I'm not feeling good, I take a bath, and at that point I may put different things in my bath water. Eucalyptus, if I have a cold, I'll put eucalyptus oil in my bath. I've taken fresh rosemary when I'm sick with a cold, when COVID was going around, and if I felt any symptoms of that, a lot of times I would go out, because I grow rosemary in my yard, and I would get fresh rosemary and I would just put the leaves in my bath. People may think, how can you do that? The smell is relaxing, and the way it makes your skin feel. And remember, our body is made up of millions of pores, and pores are like little mouths. So that is going into, if I take a bath and I put those healing herbs in my bath water, it's going into my tissues, my cells, and it's relaxing me and healing me at the same time. So taking a lukewarm bath definitely has an effect on helping us to sleep better, helping us to not be irritable, to relax, to calm down. It's a water treatment or hydrotherapy that's very beneficial in healing to the body. Okay, so that was the lukewarm water bath. Now we're going to talk about the cold bath. A lot of people don't like the cold baths, but they are beneficial just as well. Okay, and when you again, hydrotherapy is the use of warm, lukewarm, and cold water. Cold water is the final touch that invigorates the body and helps it to wake up, helps those organs to wake up, to vitalize and heal the body. The cold water is very important, and it has benefits, very, very good benefits for healing of our body too. So a cold bath. One thing about a cold bath is you don't stay in it as long. It's short. They're mostly short, okay? And cold baths are used for colds, for flus, fevers, and they are like a stimulant to our body, to our bodies and our organs. If you take a cold bath, it's going to wake you up. It's going to get the body active, the organs moving, and things working the way they should. Those organs are going to wake up, and they're going to start working. That blood is going to start circulating. Everything's going to wake up. It's a stimulant. It's like a tonic, a cold bath. I know that, again, being a mother and me as a little girl having a fever, those are some of the things that they would do. They would put us in a cool bath. Maybe not cold, but a cool bath to bring that temperature down. So cold baths are beneficial, and they are stimulant, and they wake everything up, and they get that blood moving, and and it also gets the organs vitalized and working. So cold baths have a benefit, but you don't have to be in them long. You just be in them very short. I've even taken a lukewarm bath and then did a contrast with cold, and you can feel we're revived, and it gives you energy, and you know that it's healing. You can feel those healing properties from water using the hot or warm and then the cold at the end. There's another type of bath that we can take. I've done the research. I've never done this, and I'm going to try it. But it's called a cold shallow bath. Now with this type, and it says that from my research, and I did a lot of research. I'm going to show you the book that I used to do a lot of research. And a lot of these things that I'm sharing, I've practiced myself and experienced the benefits. So it's also teaching and experiencing and living it for myself. But anyway, the cold shallow bath is the most powerful, it says. It's the most powerful tonic in water therapy. It's the most powerful because it awakens the blood and the organs again. And it's very short. It says that you fill the tub up with 4 to 6 inches of cold water. And you get in that water and splash it all over you. And you get out. And it's like a tonic. It revives your organs. And it revives the body. It wakes everything up. The temperature for the cold shallow bath should be 65 to 75 degrees temperature. And back to the cold bath, the temperature for the cold bath should be 55 to 90 degrees. And again, everybody's body is different. Our tolerance as far as hot and cold is different. You gauge, but don't cheat. You need a cold bath, not a cool bath. It says a cold bath and not a freezing cold bath. So just you go by how you feel, but make sure you don't cheat. And then sometimes you can't go into a cold bath, I know, right away. You might have to keep practicing and gradually get it colder and colder. And that's one good thing about water therapy is that you can add as much cool water or add as much hot or warm water you need based on how you feel. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you don't get overheated. Make sure you don't get too chilled. And then there's another bath that I've never taken that I've read about called a plunge bath. Now I've seen people do this, jump in lakes and stuff like that are cold. But a plunge bath is similar to that, but it's in a bath. It's a bath full of cold water. And it's not like the shower where it's just inches of cold water and you splash it on you and so on. But the plunge bath is a full bath of cold water, and you get in it and you get out. So you get in and cover your whole body, sit there for about a minute or so, as much as you, and get out. That again is a bath that will awaken everything and get the blood circulating. We don't need our blood to pool in any parts of our body. The brain, anywhere, the heart, we want the blood to circulate evenly. And so that's why hydrotherapy is a wonderful treatment to use to keep the blood circulating, because when it pools, it causes diseases and it even affects our thinking. So we want to practice using the hydrotherapy and learn more about it. Not just what you learn here, but our health is our wealth. Learn these things, do research, and practice them. We can learn, and read, but we have to practice them ourselves so we can be a living testimony. And I want to share this because these are things that I practice myself on my family and share with others. And myself, I'm a living testimony of how these things work. Inexpensive, given to us abundantly water. We don't need a prescription. All we need to do is pray, have trust in God, and want to learn and want to apply and do these things for our health, And people are getting sick with different things and leaving earlier, prematurely, because we don't take the time to learn and want to take care of these bodies that God has given us. And that is why we do this, and that's why I share. It's because I want to share the goodness of what God has shown me and how it's been a blessing to me and my family and others. Okay? One other tool that's good to have when you're doing hot, lukewarm, or cold baths is a temperature gauger, something to gauge the temperatures. I listed the temperatures in the different baths, cold, lukewarm, hot. You can go back and listen to that again and do the research yourself, but you'll need this tool. And I'm hoping that you can see this. This is helps you to gauge the temperature. Once you get your bath, cold or hot or lukewarm bath, you measure by those temperatures that I spoke of, or do the research yourself, and you invest in one of these. I got this on Amazon, and this helps me to know how cold, hot, or warm my water is. This measures your temperature and your water. So make sure you invest in one of these so you'll know for yourself when taking a bath. Another way to use hydrotherapy with water that we all do, and we do more of this than baths, and that is showers. And I'm just going to share, there's different types of showers, just like there's different types of baths, but I'm going to share the hot and cold contrast showers. This is something that my husband does religiously, that he shared with a lot of people. It helps to build the immune system, and it helps to keep the blood circulating correctly. It helps to fight off colds and flus, and it's something that if you're a person that takes a shower, that you would like to practice daily as you take your showers. And it takes 3 minutes, 5 to 3 minutes. I have a hand. You have a question or comment?
Speaking of showers, even if you take a cold shower quickly in the morning, you can make your own antibiotics too.
Okay, so I don't know if everyone heard that, but when you take the cold shower, is it the hot and cold shower, contrast in itself?
Yeah, when the cold strikes the skin after the hot, each cell in the body gets a thrill. But seriously, what happens among very special benefits is lysozyme activity is facilitated, and that's the natural antibiotic that it produces.
Okay, so very important, the cold part of the hydrotherapy. The cells get invigorated and they produce, when we apply hot and cold or warm and cold, that cold is important. We don't like it. It can be uncomfortable, but it is very important. It vitalizes the body. It helps the cells, and my husband just shared, it helps to form antibiotics. What is it? Antibiotics?
Antibiotics.
Natural antibiotics.
That's what that lysozyme is. Lysozyme. Natural antibiotics by applying the cold portion. So the cold is very important. Very important. That's why it's a tonic, and it wakes everything up, and it builds natural antibiotics we're learning. Also, I forgot to mention that by doing the hydrotherapy, that it dramatically increases germ-fighting white blood cells, nutrients, and oxygen. So this hydrotherapy, using the hot and cold, warm and cold, combining them to contrast, it also builds germ-fighting white blood cells. So it's very important to use the cold also, okay? But the hot and cold shower contrast, okay, this is how you do it. You're in there, you warm your body from just getting in a regular shower, okay? At the end of the shower, this is what we suggest. We suggest that you start your hot and cold contrast before you get out. So what you're going to do is you're going to use hot as you can stand water on your body in the shower. Get it all over, turn around, get it all over for a minute, counting to 60. Hot water. This is what I read. Now, my husband, he may have a different version, but this is from my research, this is what I read. And I applied it when I took a shower today, and I think he may have a time frame a little different than he does. I've applied that too, but when I do apply the hot and cold contrast, the benefits, I feel revived and refreshed when I get out the shower, when I do take a shower. And that's I take more baths and showers. But anyway, you take that hot water, as hot as you can stand it, you put it all over you, get it everywhere, all over you, turn around, get it all over you, counting to 1 minute. And then you get that water as cold as you can stand it. You might have to build your way up to the cold, but you get as cold as you can stand it, because this is the invigorating part, the tonic part that really wakes you up and just, it helps you to stimulates the body and gets the blood flowing. And this is the cold part. When you do the cold part, you turn as cold as you can stand it, and you want to get that from 15 to 30 seconds. 30 seconds is better. And you just get the cold water all over you. Let it get all over you, as quick as you can. Get it all over you. That's the hot and cold shower contrast that wakes up the body.
It vitalizes the organs, gets the blood flowing, helps to build your white blood cells, helps to build natural antibiotics. And it doesn't take that long, and we take baths or showers daily. And so that's a way to apply God's natural healing through water treatments daily to help to prevent disease and to heal the body. Now I'm going to ask my husband, what times do you suggest when you do your hot and cold contrast?
It's 3 minutes hot and 30 to 45 seconds cold.
Okay, when my husband does his, and he's been doing it for years, 15 years plus maybe, but when he learned about it. But he says he does hot for 3 minutes and cold from 30 to 45 minutes.
30 to 45 seconds. That's like a maintenance. You do that one time for maintenance.
One time.
For maintenance daily, right?
So for maintenance daily, he does his contrast showers 3 minutes hot.
Right.
And 30 to 45
seconds
cold
at the end.
And 30 to 45 seconds cold at the end. You always end with the cold.
Right.
So he does his hot and cold shower contrast, 3 minutes hot all over in the shower, and 30 to 45 minutes cold all over in the shower. You always end with the cold once. He does that once.
And that's what I'm saying. That's for maintenance.
That's for maintenance, and he does that once. And I'm sorry, with the other version of the hot and cold contrast shower, where I said you could use the hot for 1 minute and the cold for 15 to 30 seconds, you do that 3 times. Do those repetitions 3 times. So that's really adding up to what you do 1 time. Right?
Right.
So you can do those different variations. You can do it 1 time, 3 minutes hot, 30 to 45 seconds cold, or you can do it repetitiously 3 times, 1 minute hot, 15 to 30 seconds cold. So it depends on what you can tolerate and your body can tolerate. You can do the hot for 3 minutes, or you can do it 1 minute for 3 times. And so go back to the replay and listen to what we just shared with you as far as the cold contrast showers. But at the end, we're going to share testimonies, and I'm going to move on to the next demonstration. We got 2 more left. We're going to share a testimony of live of how we shared and how it's helped others. My husband has a friend that he worked with when he was working, who religiously my husband shared the hot and cold contrast shower with him, and he always mentions it, and he does it religiously, and he's experienced the benefits. So there is abundance of information out there about water therapy and its healing and its treatments. Now, if you're dealing again with high blood pressure or diabetes, you need to consult with your doctor to make sure that it's okay. You have to be very cautious and be very careful of doing these type of things when you're dealing with those chronic diseases. But I want to also just reiterate mental health. There's so many people dealing with mental health, and taking that bath. We all know that when you take a bath, it's calming. My personal experience is when I take a bath, I fall asleep in there, and those pores are taken in that water, whatever you're putting in that water. And one other thing I want to say, people don't want to take a bath because they say, "Oh, the water is dirty." No, what you do is you use the water for hydrotherapy purposes, for the healing of your body. That's not, and at the end, what I do is at the end I wash. And of course, the cells are going to come. And that's also a way of getting dead cells off and cleaning out your skin. The biggest organ in your body is a bath. And you sit there, and we all know if you sit in a tub for a certain amount of time, especially if it's a lukewarm tub, that it's going to make the skin get off dead skin cells. When you take a bath, they're going to come off. Okay, and that's good. It's exfoliating, is that what that's called? When you get the cells off. So once you wash, do that at the end and get out the tub. You don't have to sit in a tub, a dirty tub of water. You know, you sit there and you get the benefits and the pores, because there's mouths, they bring water in. I know I've sat in the tub and I have to urinate. That tells me that my pores are sucking that water in. And if you got healing herbs and oils in there for different elements, that's helping to heal the body. So, and that's hydrotherapy. But at the end is when you do the cleansing part, the cleaning part, and you're going to get out. You're going to let the water get out. So don't let your mind be tricked to thinking, oh, I got to sit in the water. It's dirty water. No, and before there were all these showers, we were taking baths. But anyway, the brain, the mental health. Take those lukewarm baths. That helps to calm and relax and get the blood to circulate. And water, again, as my husband said earlier, is so important because I read in my research that our brain is mostly made up of water. So we need to hydrate, we need to drink water so that the blood will pool or clog in our brain, and then we have all these issues. Our thoughts are wrong. We can't think, and we're thinking wrong thoughts because we're not clear in our mind, and it can cause what's called mania, which is insanity, which is mental health issues. So be mindful of that. Water is also a fountain of youth. Drinking the water dehydrates the body. Taking the bath hydrates the body. The pores is bringing in that water, and it is the fountain of youth. It helps you to look younger and not dried out and develop lines from aging and being dried out and so on. So taking a bath, the hydrotherapy helps to get water into you also. Keeps your skin from not drying out, and is also good for your hair. Drinking water helps with your fever, and taking a bath helps to bring the fever down. Okay, I'm going to just stop with that. One other thing, but we'll do that. I'll mention that at the end because we're about to close. I want to also, before I do the other demonstrations, a lot of my information came from this book that we use, and this book has a whole section on hydrotherapy, and it's the Natural Remedies Encyclopedia. Again, these things that we share, the hydrotherapy, is a home remedy, natural remedy, and some physicians use it. My doctor, when I went to, because I was experiencing, because I get too busy and use that as an excuse of not drinking the proper amount of water or not drinking water at all, and then my body will tell me that I need water. It will tell me. I've experienced a lot of the symptoms that my husband talked about because of me not being consistent and doing my part. And it goes back to something simple, not getting a pill, but just drinking the proper amount of water. Headaches, I've experienced that. The fatigue, I've experienced that. As you get older, your body changes. You're just not made of steel no more, and you're going to experience these things. And if you're not taking care of your body as you get older, and you got to learn when you get younger to do it when you get older. Anyway, I've experienced those things, and I can trace it right back to water. My doctor told me, because I was having some issues, feeling fatigue. I'm like, why am I feeling tired? My doctor told me, are you drinking your water? Her nurse said, are you drinking your water? When I come into the office, if I got something going on, I don't leave with a pill. She'll reconversate, and I find out there's something I'm doing and lack of that's caused me to have these symptoms. And I have a wonderful doctor that she doesn't write me a prescription. We talk it out. And water is a big issue as far as, for me, it was the headaches and the fatigue. And I noticed that when I got back on my water the way I should, that those symptoms went away. No prescription, just simply drinking that water the way I've been taught and the way God intended for us to have water in our body. So that's the book. If you need any information about how to get one of those books, we can get that for you. My husband's going to give you his contact information. I have 2 more demonstrations. I've shown you how to get this, to take the temperatures during the bath, hydrotherapy, and we talked about the shower, hot, cold showers. what I have here is a demonstration that I'm going to do using water, hydrotherapy, for colds and flu. We're coming up on that time of the year, and this is something that's been tried and tested. It's an inhalation that you can do with water to open up your congestion from colds and flus, and to just make you all around heal when you're dealing with colds and flus. And it's called steam. We're probably familiar with that. It's simple, just water and essential oil. Eucalyptus essential oil is what I use. I even, with this eucalyptus essential oil, in order to do the steam inhalation to help healing for my grandchildren and myself, even if I'm in the shower and I'm in a hot shower, I'll take this and just put drops around me in the shower to get that steam inhalation to help to heal the body from colds and flus with eucalyptus oil. Eucalyptus is very powerful for congestion and colds and flus. But I'm going to show you the demonstration, also the simple demonstration that you can do for colds and flus with water. I'll be right back. I'll take this with me. I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back. Hot water.
You gonna boil
it? So with this demonstration,
should you boil it? Normally when you do it, should you boil the water?
Yeah, for the steam. With this demonstration, the water's not as hot as it can be, and you don't want it too hot because you don't want it to burn you. But you just take water, put it in a pot, and let it boil to where you see steam coming up. And then you put, I would say, about 10 to 12 drops of eucalyptus oil. There's other oils you can use, but I use eucalyptus oil when I got cold and flu, and for my grandchildren, myself, or my husband. And I'll put however many drops in there in the water, and make sure it's not too hot because you don't want to burn yourself. And then you can treat yourself or have someone to help you, but you can do it yourself. I'll take either a towel or a sheet. Now I have here, people normally use flat sheets, but I have a fitted sheet, and I find that fitted sheets work better. So you got the water, and you have steam coming up. You can still feel the steam, not too hot. You don't put your face too close, and you put your drops of eucalyptus oil in and sit in the chair. Make sure you're stable, and you can have a cool rag or cool water near you just in case you need it. But you would just put your oil in there, and with a fitted sheet, which works better to me, you can use whatever you have. But a fitted sheet really works good because it helps you to have that tent effect. And you're going to put it over your head, and you're going to close this up. And that fitted sheet, you see the stretch, and sit. Make sure you get it to close and just sit. And my head, you can see my head is up this high and the water's down here. And what this sheet is doing is that steam is going to fill in there and inside, and you're going to inhale that hot, warm, that water, steam. And this is not even boiling water, but it got hot, warm quick. But you're going to feel the steam coming up with the healing eucalyptus oil in there that's going to help you with congestion and help to heal you with colds and flus and make you just feel better. Yes, I have a question.
So what does it do? I mean, what's the point in doing that? What does it do for you?
It opens up the nasal. It opens up head congestion. It opens up the lungs. From when you got cold and flu, you get congested. So
it breaks up the phlegm?
It breaks up the phlegm and the mucus. Yes, yes, sir. And it opens everything up. So the eucalyptus itself has a lot of healing properties, just the herb itself. So it's the way of getting that into your body and opening and breaking things up. And another thing you can use a fitted sheet, and if you don't have that, you can use a towel. And this way you can kind of, you're going to have opening, but still that steam, you just close it up the best you can. You see my head is up here, so the steam can come up with the eucalyptus oil in there, and close it up the best you can. And I can feel, it doesn't take a lot, and you just inhaling it, and you can feel it entering into the nostrils and into the lungs, and your mouth, you're breathing. But it's best to keep your mouth closed and just slowly inhale and relax, and inhale and relax. And like I said, this is not even, you can't see a lot of steam, but steam is coming up from it because the water has been heated, and I can feel it. And I would say sit under there as long as you can stand it. Don't overdo it, but as long as you can stand it. And I've used this for myself, and I've used this on my husband, and I've used this on my grandchildren. And again, I've even used it in the shower. So that's a inhalation treatment. And you remember when we got, the sickness came upon us from what was going on a few years back. I did those treatments on and on for you. Then another demonstration. We've done this plenty of times before, and we just want to iterate it, and that's the living water. And what you do, very simple, is you get you some pure fresh water, and you get you a glass jar. We like to use glass jars. And let me get one more thing. Use a cutting board or a plate, and you're just going to get you a lemon. I use a whole lemon. I'm going to drink this, and this is good to drink in the morning because it's hydrotherapy. You're using water treatment for healing. But you have your lemon, slice it, and you can either squeeze it using a regular squeezer, lemon juice. I use a glass one. I do have a stainless steel that catches the seeds, because when you just use this, it doesn't have the seed catcher. The seeds will get in there. You don't want to swallow them. Or you could use the pure water. You could use this type of utensil to squeeze the lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. You want fresh lemon juice. You don't want to go to the store and buy no lemon juice in a glass jar or the lemon juice in the plastic tube. You want to get fresh lemons. Organic lemons are best. But this, the utensil we got from Amazon, and you squeeze it, and it's very inexpensive. You squeeze that in there, move it around, get all the juice out, and that's another way you can make your lemon water to take in the morning. And that's it. And I'm going to go ahead and use this in there too. And have you a lid to cover your water if you're drinking it, sipping on it throughout the day, drinking on it throughout the day. And then it's just simple, inexpensive. You got something to dehydrate you, and your vitamin C from your lemon, and this is another form of,
helps the liver.
It cleanses the liver also. This is another form of hydrotherapy because you're using water. It's a water treatment. So those are the 3 demonstrations. The inhalation with the steam for colds and flus, and the lemon water is good for cold and flu too because it has the vitamin C in it. But again, that book there that I showed you earlier, it has a whole chapter on hydrotherapy, and those books are a good investment to have in your home for your health, or family, or friends to go to help you to learn and understand what you can do naturally from your home to help in the healing process when you're dealing with different elements. Also, one other thing, and then I'll be through, your water source. and I'm gonna ask my husband to talk more about the water source, because nowadays, I remember, and we probably, or some of us are old enough to remember, where you didn't buy water. And it's just strange to me that we live in a world where where you buy water. If you don't buy water, you filter the water you have. And there's a difference between salt and hard water, I've learned. But now we just don't go to the sink and get water anymore. We purchase water, something that the Lord has given us abundance of freely for us to consume. We have to be very careful of our water resource, and we may have to purchase it or buy filters for our sinks in our homes to be able to get pure water, because we want our water to be pure. So I'm done. I pray it's been a blessing. If you have any questions, you can contact us. My husband will give you that information. And will you share with those out there about good water resources? As far as whole, soft water or hard water, and filters and things like that. And one of my testimonies, I want to give a testimony, and that is that the testimony I gave about my doctor telling me, which I already knew, and that was to drink water for headaches, and it helps with fatigue, and Epsom salt in your bath. It helps to relieve muscle pain and relax you. And it also helps, Epsom salt in your bath water also helps you to get magnesium. And taking a bath with magnesium helps to build your magnesium up, where a lot of us are low on magnesium. And the magnesium, I definitely know that when I do that, and I'm getting that into my body, because I can feel the difference in what I'm dealing with if I'm low on magnesium. And also, it just amazes me how taking those baths, I'm a bath advocate, that taking those baths, that water is going in like that sponge, is being sucked into our bodies. And again, I have even experienced where I can feel that it's going in and I have to eliminate, and it's time to get out, because I'll get to that point because of my pores bringing in like the sponge, the water treatment. But that's all I have. I hope that you've been blessed with the inhalation, the steam inhalation, and the information about the hot bath, lukewarm bath, and the cold bath, and the hot, cold contrast showers. And like I said, in that book, there's other therapy treatments that I have done, water treatments I've done on myself and my husband with dealing with different elements, and it does work. Inexpensive, no side effects if it's done properly without any pre-existing conditions. It works, and it helps, and it heals. Okay, so I'm done. So at this time, I have my husband come up and see what else he has to share. Thank you. The next date.
I'll get the third Sunday in August, so we'll look that up. Okay, I'm just gonna give my contact information. As usual, you can contact me at 336-259-4997, or you can reach me at my email, amccoy1012@yahoo.com. Any information, any questions you may have, any books you may want to get a hold of, any of the information that we go over, you just contact me. We're more than happy to get it to you, or what have you. And my wife wanted me to talk about what's the best water to drink. That's a very broad thing to do, but from what I've studied, it's not good to drink tap water, straight from tap water, because of the things that are in it, the way it's filtered. You have Also, you have reverse osmosis water, which is supposed to be taking out all the impurities in the water, and including fluoride, because we talked about fluoride before, and fluoride is not good for us, period. And you can study that out for yourself.
Tell me about your teeth, what the doctor told you, you had used fluoride.
Yeah, I have not used fluoride, and our water is, the water has fluoride in it that we use coming out of the tap. So I haven't used fluoride in probably, I don't know, over 10 years. And the last couple of years I go to the doctor, there's no cavities, there's no, not too much recession. I am older now, so I'm 60, but they call me a boring client because there's no cavities, there's no infections, there's no teeth problems. I have to, give God all the glory, of course, but and that's without fluoride. I haven't used fluoride in over 10 plus years. So,
prescription, what did they tell you?
Well, last time I went to the dentist was not that long ago. He told me, he said, well, you're a boring patient. What I need to do is write you a prescription that you need to eat more sugar. Because, when you eat more sugar and candy, it causes caries, and you have more cavities, so they got more work to do. So that's what he said. Then he started laughing, so that was kind of funny.
Well, this is without fluoride.
And this is without fluoride. But the different waters, you have your spring water, you have your soft water, you have your hard water. The soft water, I think, is considered distilled water, which doesn't have anything in it. And some people consist of that, but distilled water is used in, mostly medicinally when you're dealing with things, because it has nothing in it. So the hard water? Mm-hmm. Hard water has the minerals and different things in it that will help rehydrate you in a quicker fashion. So,
where does hard water generally come from? Hard water. How do you get hard water? From wells?
Well, yeah, a lot of well water, but then you have to be careful with your well water and make sure things are not leaching into them.
You got to get it filtered.
So you got to filter. So the different filters I don't know too much about. So search out the best filters you can put on your faucets, or you can get whole house filters also. You can also get. So there's different things you can do, but just do the best you can. Stay away from tap water. I will say that. And you have different places that have different water machines, different things. You can get distilled. You can get reverse osmosis water, and you can also get alkaline water. So those are the different things. And if you're really concerned, you can put your water on the pot, on the stove, and just boil it. Make it just boil. That'll make it distilled. So you can do that also. So different options, but just drink your water. Do the best you can. Drink your water. Just drink it. So we'll close with that, and as always, the next date for the next one.
It would be August the 24th.
That's the third Sunday.
Excuse me, August the 17th.
So the next one will be August the 17th, same time, from 2 to 4. We don't know what the subject will be. If y'all have any suggestions, please reach out, and, we can go over that. But it'll be August the 17th from 2 to 4, next one. Let's have a word of prayer. Lord, please help us to just to take these simple remedies to heart and apply them in our lives. We're actually witnesses of what drinking the proper amount of water, internally and externally, what it does. The hydrotherapies and different water therapies that are healing to the body. So we just pray and ask that anyone out there that is listening right now or listen to it later, may they come across this and say, I have a lot of these problems. So let me increase my water intake. Let me take baths. Let me take contrast showers. And let me do these things to see how my quality, my health improves. And then we go to our doctors and they can, do the proper testing that we need. And, certain levels may be low, what have you. we just thank you, Lord, for this opportunity. We ask everyone have a blessed evening. And until next time we come together again in August, we ask that everyone, is kept safe and secure. And we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.